The high school football game of the week features our area's top players and teams. Let's join Dave Ross and Don Lee for today's game.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Division IV Group AA State Championship game pitting the defending state champion Salem Spartans against the Parkview Sterling Patriots, the team that a year ago, of course, lost this one in a thriller that went right down to the wire. I'm Dave Ross, along with none other than Don Lee and the stat man. It is great to be with you for this game, which once again sees these two teams, which had such a great game a year ago, ready to go at it once again this season. And Don, no question, I'm sure probably 8-9 weeks ago, a lot of folks would not have said that Salem would be in this game.
That's exactly right, Dave, but you don't ever count the Spartans out because they just have the basic ingredient that's necessary, and that's a desire to achieve or possibly overachieve. But you know, we speak of deja vu because it's the same teams all over again. Some of the members of the cast from last year are missing, but there are so many key players back on both teams, and I'm sure Parkview has been licking their wounds for a whole year, hoping for the opportunity to pay these Spartans back, but it'll be a tough chore for them.
All right, let's tell the folks this Parkview Sterling team 12-1. Their only loss was to Liberty Bealton by a 17-14 score. However, in the playoffs, they came back and won that game 14-12. And of course, for the Spartans of Salem, their actual record at 9-4, but it is officially 10-3 because of the forfeit win against the Cave Spring Knights. They're a football team, though, that in the playoffs has really put it together.
They have put it together, and their defense will be a big factor today. They've shut out 3 out of the last 4 opponents. Parkview has only shut out 2 of their opponents all year. They've only given up 3 touchdowns once. So this is a game where you're going to see probably a little bit more of an offense that'll spread out and do some things against Salem that maybe other teams haven't done. But rest you assured that Willis White's team will be well prepared.
All right, we will be back with a kickoff as the Spartans and the Patriots get ready to meet. But first, let's take this commercial timeout.
There's a great way to...
One extra point, missed a field goal at the end, and that was the difference in the game as the Spartans hung on 21-20. DeVelli will kick it off as Salem will get the first opportunity on the offensive side of the football. DeVelli, an outstanding place kicker for this Parkview football team. There's the kick, and it will come down. It will be bobbled and then goes into the end zone. That was Jeremy Sheeler. So as it goes into the end zone, it will be a touchback, and Salem High will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. And, of course, this offense, as Don mentioned, that has been playing some very good football of late. They are at the controls, led by quarterback number 11, David Christensen. Of course, Nick Schmidt is in that backfield, along with Manuel Lewis, Roger Waddell. You'll also see Rico Jordan. And, of course, Jeremy Sheeler and Alan Crowder are a couple of good receivers. Derek Sauer, Nolan Lee, John Needhawk, Joe Anderson, and Nathan Anderson along that front line. We'll tell you about the Parkview defense, which is a good one, as this will be the first play of this defensive side of the football, and there's nothing doing. That time Waddell got it, and he was met immediately by Dana Early and Brian Fong, so he gets basically nothing on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
We see Parkview winning the toss and deferring. They're trying to use the same strategy because they have a great kicking game that Salem usually uses. They decided to kick off. They decided to try to pin Salem deep in 3 plays, possibly force a punt, and get some good field position and get an early score.
Christensen at the controls. Waddell and Manuel Lewis behind him. There's Lewis. Look at Lewis break at 25 down to the 27. And number 17, free safety Eric O'Saban, had to make the stop, but give him a good gain of 7 yards. Well, we'll call it 6. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Tough situation here. 3rd and 4, you've got a big fullback like Manuel who found an opening. Then, knowing Coach White, he's not going to put the ball up down here. So we'll possibly look for Manuel again or either Waddell, but we look for him to run it.
There you can see number 11, Christensen at the controls. First big third down play of this game as we've played a minute and a half, and that time they don't get anywhere. Number 40 was the first to meet him. That's Joey Wisen, the 6 foot, 220-pound senior for the Patriots of Parkview Sterling. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 4, and Nick Schmidt will come on to punt for the Spartans.
We haven't seen Salem do a lot all year to get outside. They're mainly an up-the-middle and off-tackle team, and the Parkview defense was really packed in there tight to stop that on the initial try on offense for Salem.
That's Schmidt. He gets the kickoff. It is taken there by Murphy. Murphy has great speed and drives across midfield to the Salem 41-yard line as they were able to stop him, led by number 57 on that coverage team, that being John Needhawk.
Let's talk about Tim Murphy a minute. Number 7, 5'6", 152. Senior. We know that Nick Smith was a quarterback last year, but the most unusual thing about Tim Murphy is the fact that not only does he play quarterback, but he plays middle linebacker at 152 on defense. So a both-way performer, but we know he's been outstanding running it as well as throwing it.
And he also has 7 interceptions. Coming into this game, he has passed for 639 yards and run for 1,144. There he goes. He's to the 40. He's to the 35. He's to the 30, and finally ridden down at the 28-yard line. Nick Schmidt, coming up from his defensive backfield position, stops him, but not before good yardage for none other than Tim Murphy.
I've heard 2 different discussions about the type of offense that Parkview runs. Last year they ran the single wing. I'd heard it was more of a shotgun effect this year, but on the very first play, Tim Murphy did the spin, which is off of the single wing series, faked to the wing back and kept it going off tackle, and just a fine-looking athlete.
All right, here we go. There goes the snap, and it went directly back to number 20 on that offense. That's William Chester. He's the young man who has rushed for 2,047 yards, 24 touchdowns, and he, like the speed merchant we saw from Heritage High School a week ago, runs a 4.340, 5'9", 171 pounds for the Patriots.
Anytime you can put yardage like that on the board, you can pick them up and lay them down, and he's a threat any time. And again, as good as Salem is on defense, when you haven't seen this type of offense all year, there are some adjustments to be made.
First down, 15, as they get the penalty to lose 5. There's Murphy. Murphy cuts it inside nowhere. Good defensive stop in there, as coming up was number 82, a youngster that we have been so impressed with throughout his career at Salem. Alan Crowder, the 6 foot, 183 pounds junior, stops him, and so it will be second down and about 13.
Another thing that's very dangerous about this offense, they do so much spinning and so much faking, is play action passes can be effective. This would be the perfect time for the good play action pass off of the spin to see if you could get Salem coming up for the fake.
There it goes. That's Murphy. Again, a penalty marker comes down, and the movement again. And, of course, none other than the incomparable man, the stat man, Jerry Caldwell.
I wonder if he picked up that penalty. I didn't. Where was it, Jerry?
He moved on the left end right there. He moved for the snap. I got it that time.
Well, I'll tell you, you don't miss many, my friend. I'll tell you that right now. All right, it is another 5-yard penalty, so they now have it all the way back at the 38. It is second down, 18 yards to go for the first down. Parkview in Salem territory at the Spartan 38. That's Murphy. Murphy going to look. He's being pressured, and he's going to be sacked at the 45. Great penetration there. Number 83, Mark Shirley. Number 82, Alan Crowder. And Nathan Anderson and Spencer Chrisley all corralled Mr. Murphy all the way back at the 44-yard line.
Defense is the name of the game for the Salem Spartans, and one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to get forced into third and long situations or second and long situations, because when they know you got to throw the football, you're going to be awfully rushed to get it off. So Coach White's team has adjusted a little bit now. One more down the hole, and they'll force a punt. And I like their chances here. How about you, Dave?
Definitely. That's it. 3rd and 25. They have to get inside the 20-yard line for Salem, and forget it. They will get nothing on the play. Number 5, Rico Jordan, was there to stop the ball carrier, William Chester, in his tracks. He'll lose another half yard, and it'll be 4th and 25 for the Patriots of Parkview Sterling. Number 9, Jeremy Sheeler, will go back deep, along with number 37, Sean Hefner. out of the punt from Early. Early gets this one off. It will bounce and bounce out of bounds. A good punt by Dana Early inside the 10, and that is where the Patriots of Parkview Sterling will go on the defense, and the Salem High Spartans will go on offensively.
Not only did Rico Jordan help in making that tackle, but he sort of sent a message, because he really gave him a bone-crushing tackle, as if to tell Chester, don't come my way, young man, because this is what you're going to get. And in a game like this, when the emotions are high, you want to do anything that you can to get an edge. But I'm sure the first time that Chester flies by Rico, he's going to send him a message also.
There you have it. 1st and 10. They have it at the just shy of their own 10-yard line. We have played about 4.5 minutes. Not much running room. They go up the middle, and Manuel Lewis carries it. He gets it out across the 10, out to about the 12 or 13. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Clock running here. A quickly moving first quarter. And while I have a chance, Don, congratulations go to the Rustburg Red Devils, who won the first game this afternoon, topping Turner Ashby 9-6.
And again, it's a brother situation up here with Mike Shaughness coaching the Rustburg, and of course Jerry Shaughness, for years a valuable Salem assistant.
There goes the handoff. There's running room, and then closed up very quickly. Going straight ahead was Roger Waddell. Number 67 was the first to meet him there. That was Brad Sisson, and Sisson stops him at the 15. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Salem Spartans. No score in this game, as we are down inside of the 6:40 mark in quarter number 1.
Can't really tell if the win is a factor. It looks like it's a little bit of a factor. So Salem's going to wait till they have a win at their back before they do a lot of fancy things, and they're going to be satisfied to play field position with them and see if they can make something happen.
Hey, Waddell got the first down and more. He's to the 30. He loses the football, but in his possession all the way to the 35-yard line. A 20-yard gain for Roger Waddell, and that was reminiscent of when he went on a 75-yard scoring run in the Northside game in the first round of the playoffs.
Probably the same play, and he's been the man like money in the bank in those situations. He started off tackle, saw the opening to the outside, made a great cut, got outside, and the sidelines boxed him in a little bit. But the thing about it now, Dave, is they'd have a little more room to operate, and they could have a little more flexibility with what they want to do on offense.
Here we go. First down, 10 yards to go. The initial first down for the Spartans at the 35. There's a handoff, and Manuel Lewis going to dart forward to about the 37. Number 53, Brian Fong, stopped him. It'll be a gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Look how that defense is packed in. I hope that camera crew can get a shot of it, because there are actually about 9 guys actually, right up within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage from tackle to tackle. And so they're looking for Salem to try to run off tackle, and they're going to try to force them into situations. But it does make it easier if Waddell bounces to the outside to break a long one.
Here we go. It is at the 37, 2nd and 8. Clock continuing to run in this first quarter. Christensen going to throw for the first time. Got a man. It's Hefner. Hefner to the midfield stripe. Hefner is out of bounds inside the 45 to the 43. He's pushed out of bounds over there by Marcus Lee, but not before he gains great yardage. The pass from Christensen to Sean Hefner.
Let's give Christensen a lot of credit that time. That young man has been under the gun this year as far as having a lot of pressure on him, being placed in there, that starting quarterback at the last minute. And I'm telling you, he sprinted out and just threw a strike, and that first completion is going to mean a lot to him. And the whole thing is turned around as far as field positions now, because Salem's where they want to be. They're in Parkview's territory. 1st
and 10 at the 42. There's the handoff. Waddell 40. Waddell 36. Waddell 35. And finally ridden down by number 13, Zach Polk, the cornerback. But a great run for none other than Roger Waddell.
That's what I was talking about a moment ago, Dave. They're packed in so tight that once they fake the ball to Manuel, everybody converges on him. They hand it to the second man through, who is Waddell. And again, we know with his speed, if he gets a little bit of an opening, he can turn it on. And so Salem has seen how much they're packed in, and they're going to really mix up their play calling.
Here we go with the ball resting at the 35. There's a handoff. That's Lewis, and Lewis will get yardage, positive yardage of about 4 or 5. It'll be a nice gain. They're down close to the 30-yard line. Joey Wisen brings him down, but it's to the 31. It'll be another all-important first down for the Salem High Spartans.
Don't you know how proud the Shaughnessy family would be if the Spartans can come up and win two, to have two members of their family coaching in the state championship and both come out winners. But Jerry Shaughnessy is doing a great job because Parkview made an adjustment then, and he ran right up the middle against their six-man front.
Here we go. There's the quarterback. Going to throw. Got a man. It's Sheeler, and couldn't get it. Covered over there by Marcus Lee. It was intended for Jeremy Sheeler. Would have been tough even if he had caught it. Would have probably been out of bounds. But Christensen trying to find some passing yardage and fires it incomplete. It'll be now a 2nd and 10.
And Jerry Shaughnessy just sent a message to that defense. Don't pack in so tight against us because we'll throw it long. We know Sheeler's a capable receiver. In fact, we've been waiting for him to have that big game. And with Christensen's confidence getting better each game, we're going to probably see that combination hook up for a big game before the day's over.
No question about it. Here we go. It will be 2nd down and 10. The ball at the 31. There's a handoff. Straight ahead and not much running room. And as they unpile, we'll take a quick break with a score. The Salem High Spartans nothing. Parkview Sterling nothing. We're back right after this commercial timeout. Bass Transmissions does the job right each and every time.
A 47-yard field goal, we're looking at a 41-yard field goal and know that he's fully capable of making it even possibly into the wind.
Christensen will hold it. There's the kick up by Schmidt, and it is good. Nick Schmidt fires that one through, and so the Salem High Spartans will take the early lead here, 3-0. And we have 3:24 remaining in the first quarter. We'll keep it right there. There you can see the score here at Bridgeforth Stadium on the campus of James Madison University.
If I am correct, that was a 90-yard drive. Didn't they start on the 10? How about Stent, man? Let's go.
I'm working here, yes, sir. I started on the 10-yard line, used up about 4 minutes of the clock, which that's what they wanted to do, and they made it run around 8-9 play drive. So that's what, if they can keep doing that, you know, they'll keep control of this ball game.
We're going to keep him alert today, aren't we?
Yes, sir. He is doing the job for us as he has all season long. The kickoff will come from, of course, Nick Schmidt. And Schmidt adds the first scoring of this game, a field goal to give the Spartans a 3-0 lead. 3:24 remaining in quarter number 1 in what has been a quick-moving game on a cloudy, very brisk day here on the campus of James Madison University. There goes Schmidt, going to get it off. It's going to come down, and guess what? For the umpteenth time this season, that's money in the bank into the end zone, and it will be the touchback. And so the Patriots of Parkview Sterling will start on their own 20.
I want you to verify something. A minute ago, you said it was a brisk day. I want all those people who are home and will be viewing this tomorrow night to know that it is not a brisk day. It is a freezing cold day.
And let me tell you, it is tonight, not tomorrow night.
That's exactly right, Mr. Walsh. You finally got a chance to correct me.
Okay, here we go. There is running room. Look at this. Off to the races, number 9. That's Marcus Lee. He is a 5'6", 160-pound freshman for this Parkview football team, and gives you another look from their fullback Wizen, Chester the other running back, and of course Tim Murphy, and Lee carries it up across the 35.
Parkview must answer the bell right here. They must take this drive and establish some offensive momentum because Salem is very capable of taking your momentum away and hurting you a lot. And here comes, there's a man.
That's Murphy, and Murphy carries it close to midfield. Rico Jordan brings him down, and we might mention, Don, for the fans who got to see the game, of course, the great game last year, the youngster who, of course, was at quarterback by the name of Smith, who is now at Centerville High School, and the coach left here, Charlie Pierce, this year in his first year as the head football coach for Parkview Sterling. It is a running play for Murphy, and Murphy going to drive across midfield into Salem territory. He is met there in the middle of that defensive line by big number 68 Clayton Spencer. He stops him, but not before they gain a couple yards and are in Spartan territory.
Parkview's moving the ball, but at the same time, they're trying to lull Salem into something else. And what they're trying to lull Salem into is thinking of them so much up the middle that on that spin series, they're going to hand it to Chester and try to get him to the outside with that speed. And Salem really has to be alert for that.
And there is a officials timeout, thinking equipment situation, but they get that in order, and we're back at it down to the 2-minute mark remaining in quarter number 1. There goes Murphy, going to pass, got a man out there, throws it, Schmidt, and he intercepts it. Nick Schmidt intercepts it and breaks it. He's to the 25, out to the 30-yard line, and a great job done by tight end Dana Early to hang on and allow them to come up with a tackle, or Schmidt might have been off to the other end of the field, but he comes up with a great defensive play. Number 23, Nick Schmidt.
Everywhere we go, we run into coaches from other places, and they always hear about Salem. And some of our pregame discussions with coaches from this district, as well as with Jack Bogacek of the Roanoke Times and Bob Teitelbaum as well, formerly of the Roanoke Times. The kid that we always talk about is Nick Schmidt, and as far as I'm concerned, he should have a cape on with a big S on his chest. And
we'll also throw Brian Hoffman into the mix as well. There goes a bobble, and driving up across the 30 out to about the 35-yard line. That's Waddell. Number 40, Joey Wisen, was the first to meet him. So it will be a good gain of about 3.5 yards. Second down 7, 140 and counting, quarter number 1.
Have to make a comment on this. We're on the Salem side of the field. As we look down through these bleachers, if you could just see the number of people here with that proud Salem jacket on, and when I said S on Nick Smith's chest, I mean it can stand for Salem or it can stand for Superman.
Exactly right. Boy, they love to follow their team. Here goes running room. Roger Waddell. Waddell will drive up close to the 40. He's met in there by big number 67, Brad Sisson, the 190-pounder. It stops him as we are down inside of a minute remaining in quarter number 1. 3-0 is the score. The only scoring in this first quarter. The field goal kicked by Nick Schmidt. Here we go. Will be third down. They need about 2 for the first down. They've got to get to the 41. There goes the handoff. Manuel Lewis, and look at him. He got the first down and more as he drove across the 40 down to about the 44-yard line. Number 57, Donnie Cressley, brought him down, but Mr. Lewis drives for first down yardage, and he gets it as we get down to the 42nd mark. And you got to give a lot of credit to that offensive line, the likes of John Needhawk, Joe Anderson, Nathan Anderson, of course Nolan Lee, Big Derek Sauer, and Jeremy Sheeler at the split end position, Alan Crowder at the tight end.
And it seems as if Manuel has been rejuvenated, because we're seeing him run right now, probably the best that we've seen him run all year.
Here goes first down play. There's Waddell. Waddell, he is going to get some yardage out to the 45, but there is a penalty marker thrown as Waddell got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard forward, but a penalty marker comes down.
Yeah, Dave, I think it's the left guard for Salem on that when he was going around and held the Parkview guy, so that's going to bring it back.
Indeed it will. It will come back to the 34-yard line, so not what Willis White wanted, and that may well be the final play of this first quarter. In fact, they will not run a play because we're down to the final few seconds. As the clock runs down, that is the end of quarter number 1 with a score here at Bridgeforth Stadium in the Group AA Division IV State Championship. The Salem High Spartans 3 and the Parkview Sterling Patriots nothing. We're back with second quarter action right after this commercial timeout. A handoff straight ahead. Rico Jordan, he fumbles, and let's see who got it. Jordan fumbled it, and it looks like it is a first down for the Patriots of Parkview Sterling.
Well, I'm totally confused because that play should have been the play before that should have been the end of the quarter, but apparently the clock is being kept on the time is being kept on the field, and that must not be official.
Coach, I think what it was, you can't change on a penalty. They had that holding penalty, and they didn't run a play.
That is exactly right. In fact, didn't we have a similar situation, I think, a week ago up there at Pulaski?
That we did, and again, I'm looking at the clock now to see 11:54. I thought they would make an adjustment on that, but apparently they go ahead to the 12-minute mark. Now they go back to 12 minutes.
Okay, so that was it. That because it could not end on a penalty, now we are in the second quarter of play, and the Patriots of Parkview Sterling will be in business here because the Salem High Spartans, now something they don't do a whole lot of, turn the football over, but this time they did, and now they have 1st and 10, the ball resting just inside the 35-yard line.
And again, let's remember Parkview Sterling has an excellent kicker also, so they got to move the ball just a little bit. They'll be in field goal range, but they don't want to answer the bell with a field goal. They've got a wide open offense. You're going to see them probably do some things they haven't done and to see if they can get a touchdown this time, because they don't want to get into a game of field goals.
And there you can see the discussion going on the field as they will, both the officials are getting the chain set because it will be moved inside, as we say, that 35-yard line at the 34. So it is a 1st and 10 for the Patriots of Parkview Sterling. This is the start of quarter number 2. There it goes to Murphy, and Murphy got nowhere. A penalty marker comes down, and Spencer Chrisley on the defensive stop for this Salem High football team. They got back to the line of scrimmage maybe a yard forward, but there is a penalty marker back at the 34, the line of scrimmage, and it is now taken off. So no penalty. They waved it off, and it will be a gain of about a yard, 2nd and 9.
And how many times over the last few years that we've had Spencer Chrisley at Salem have we heard Spencer Chrisley makes the stops? What a competitor.
He certainly is. He does a great job for this Spartan football team. Parkview in business, 2nd and 9, as we are just underway in second quarter. There's William Chester. Great speed. He cuts it inside, gets to the 20, and then ridden down at about the 18. Nick Schmidt was there to stop him, along with some help from Rico Jordan. But give him forward progress inside the 30-yard line down to about the 27. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 for the 1st down for Parkview Sterling.
With this offense, the way they lined up with the 2 blocking backs to either side, Murphy essentially has 3 let down linemen to that side, 2 blocking backs, so he's really got 5 blockers right in front of him when he wants to go off tackle.
There goes running room. That's Chester, and he doesn't get a lot of yardage, close to 1st down. He got across the 25 down to about the 24-yard line. Looked like Mark Shirley was there, and it appears that it will be a 4th down and probably about a half yard for the 1st down. So the Patriots of Parkview Sterling going to decide here whether or not they will kick it or go for it, and I think they're going to go for it.
If you're in a state championship game and you can't make a half a yard, he's saying we want the touchdown here. It looks like they might try to draw him off sides as he's under the center. Nope,
went straight ahead, and of course with Murphy, that quickness of his, he just went right up the gut and drove it inside the 15 or the 25 down to the 20. 21, and that'll be a 1st down, 1st and 10 for the Patriots.
Parkview's well coached. Anytime you can have a center snap the ball effectively back, what would be a shotgun or a single wing or whatever you want to call it, it takes precision to get that thing back there. But remember, the direct snap can go to Chester or it can go to Murphy. So they've got a lot of different things that they can show you.
There goes running room. Murphy will drive it inside the 20 down to about the 18. Rico Jordan was there. Also, number 68 on that defensive forward wall for the Spartans at Salem, that being Clayton Spencer, stop him. So it will be a gain of, we'll call it 2, 2nd down and 8, just inside the 20-yard line. Clock continuing to run. A very, very quick-moving first half here, as the only score off of the foot of Nick Schmidt for the Salem High Spartans, and they have a 3-0 lead. There goes Murphy. There's William Chester, and Chester is hung on to as he drives down to about the 16. Spencer Chrisley was there and also had some good penetration as well from number 83, Mark Shirley. So it will be a gain of about 2. It's 3rd down and a long 5 for the 1st down for this football team from Parkview Sterling.
Tim Murphy is only 152, number 7. William Chester is only 171, but they do have a 220-pound fullback, Joey Wisen, who does the majority of that blocking back there for him. So he's capable of giving them those double teams with those linemen.
There goes Chester, and he is breaking a tackle, drives across the 15 down to about the 14. One of the first there to meet him was number 6 on that defensive side of the football. That is none other than Keith Schweizer. Schweizer stops him, but this will be another 4th down, and I think this time we will see Brandon DeVelli come on for the field goal.
Sure, there's a lot of difference in going for a half a yard against a good defensive team as going for 3.5 to 4 yards. So that's why they're going with DeVelli, and they'll be most happy to get a field goal here.
DeVelli, the spot will be at about the 22. The kick is up, and it is good. So Brandon DeVelli adds the field goal. We have field goals from Nick Schmidt and now Brandon DeVelli. And with 8:16 remaining in this first half, the score, the Salem High Spartans 3 and Parkview Sterling 3. We're back right after this commercial timeout. Boy, Division IV state championship. DeVelli will kick this one off, and he gets his leg into this one. It'll be taken at about the 2-yard line. That is taken by Sheeler, and Sheeler is upended. Number 10 for that Parkview football team was down there in a sudden hurry. That is Justin Franz, and Franz stops him right in his tracks at about the 15-yard line. That's where Salem will take over, 1st and 10. And, of course, a difference in the drives for Salem as compared to Parkview Sterling.
Yeah, Salem's was 90 yards. Parkview was 34 yards, but here again, they used up 4 minutes of the clock.
That's exactly right. Both teams doing the job effectively with the clock.
But Coach White is disappointed because he takes the ball, drives it, has a great drive. He does not like turnovers, and that turnover was a killer as far as field position as well as them getting a score on the board, but it also could cause a shift in momentum.
That's Manuel Lewis on the carry. Number 70 was the first one to meet him there for that defense of this Parkview Sterling team. That's Andre Zendre, and Zendre brings him down for a short gain of about 3, 2nd and 7. Clock continuing to run inside of 7.5 remaining, quarter number 2.
When you're a good defensive team and you're trying to keep the ball away with ball control from a good offensive team, the last thing that you can afford is a turnover, and we know that Coach White preaches against those, so they'll talk about that and try to protect the ball a little better.
There's Christensen. There's a penalty marker going to come down as they just got the play off and ready to roll the penalty marker down, and it's illegal procedure. That'll cost them 5 and will move them back inside the 15-yard line.
We talked a lot about Nick Schmidt, and we know the heartbreak that Brandon DeVelli suffered last year, missing that field goal, but it didn't shake his confidence a bit this year, and just getting that first kickoff and making that field goal had to mean a lot to that young man. And the kind of game that this is, Dave, you know, it could very easily be determined by a field goal at either end, but I don't like the position Salem's in right now. If they get forced into a punt here, it would be very disadvantageous as far as field position.
Here goes Christensen, gonna look, gonna throw, got a man out there, and it is caught. It is caught by Jeremy Sheeler, and Sheeler catches it at the 37-yard line. And oh, what a big play guy Jeremy Sheeler is on this football team. At 5'10 and a half, 160 pounds, a senior, he just seems to be able to find the right spot to come up with a play, and credit where credit is due to quarterback David Christensen.
And again, let's credit that coaching staff because they had something special planned for a special time that they needed it. And while we didn't like their position a minute ago, the whole thing has changed now because they're very capable, the kind of team they are, of running this thing down and eating up a lot of this clock and possibly getting another score.
There's Roger Waddell. Waddell will drive across the 40 down to the 42. The first one to meet him there was number 67, Brad Sisson. Sisson stops him, giving him about a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
Mark that down, Jerry, because that pass to Sheila may be one of the most important parts of this football game, and we may have to refer back to it because they were really backed up. You don't usually see Salem throw from that part of the field, but again, that's good play calling and good coaching.
Here we go. Here is, and there's somebody jumping. 46 got a little over anxious. That's Dana Early, and Early goes across the line of scrimmage, and you know what that means. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, and that's exactly what the Spartans like, because it will move the football. 2nd down and 1 now instead of 2nd and 6, and they have the football just shy of midfield. So the Spartans, as we wind down inside of 6 minutes remaining in this first half, it's 3-3, but the Spartans are driving close to midfield against this Parkview defense. Christensen at the controls, Lewis and Waddell behind him. There's Manuel Lewis. Lewis will fire it up and go across the 48 down to the 50-yard line. That will be a Spartan first down, and it's 1st and 10 for Salem High. He was met in there in the middle by Brian Fong and Joey Wisen, so it will be a gain of a couple, but more importantly, the first down, and the clock continues to move inside of 5.5 minutes. This has been a drive that the Spartans love to do. They will use that football very much like their Blue Ridge opponents, the Northside Vikings. Here goes Christensen. Christensen pump fakes. Now he's going to throw it out there. He leads it for Sheeler, but number 9 on the other side, cornerback Marcus Lee, the freshman, did a great job there, and it's incomplete, and so Jeremy Sheeler couldn't quite come up with a football. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Are you telling me that Marcus Lee was Johnny on the spot that time?
He certainly was. What a great job he did Marcus Lee. And Sheeler would have loved to have corralled that one in. Couldn't do it. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the midfield stripe. Salem with the football, and they had started this drive inside their 15. There goes the handoff. Waddell. Waddell, not a lot of room, but he does cross into Patriot territory. He was met there by number 67, Brad Sisson.
I really like the matchup that Salem gets when they have Nick Smith out at wide receiver. They usually put he and Sheila out together to give them combo receivers to one side, but Nick Smith is 6'3", and he's got a distinct advantage on those defensive backs. So we may, he's to the right side this time in the slot, so we might could see a combination route and trying to free him up.
All right, here we go. 3rd down. 7 to go. There's Christensen. Tried to get it to Sheeler. Broke one way, went the other way, and couldn't come up with it, so it is incomplete, and that will bring on 4th down, and the Spartans will punt it away off of the foot of Nick Schmidt, who averages over 37 yards a punt for this Salem High football team. Back deep is number 7, Tim Murphy, and also for that Parkview football team, back deep also there is number 25 for Parkview High School. That's Nathan Lovelace. There's the kick, and that will cross and go into the end zone for a touchback. So we have a break here in the action. The score, Salem High School 3 and Parkview Sterling 3. We are back with more second quarter action right after we take this commercial timeout. Snap and running room, not a lot for Murphy. He gets across the 20 down to about the 22. One of the first there to meet him was number 77, Derek Sauer, and it will be a short gain, 2 yards, 2nd down and 8, and we're down, moving inside of the 4-minute mark remaining in this first half.
The clock is a factor, but the next 2 downs are factors, because if Salem can hold them at this part of the field, force a punt, we know they have a good return game, they could possibly have an opportunity to have one more shot at it from inside of Parkview territory. Again, everything is based on keeping them from making a first down.
All right, there was an equipment problem there, so Parkview gets another football player in, and the clock will start running again as we get down to the 3:50 mark remaining first half. We are even at 3. There goes running room for Murphy. Murphy gets to about the 25. Whole host of white jerseys were there, led by Sauer, also Mark Shirley, and Schweizer. They stop him for a couple-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 5 at the 25.
If they hold them this time, as far as I remember, Salem has all of their timeouts left, so they can make effective use of the clock. They can probably, as I said, if they can hold them this down, get a pretty good punt return. So this could be a very key factor in the game right here.
Here we go. 3rd and 5. There it goes. There's Murphy going to hand it. It goes wide. There's running room 30, 35, down to the 38, 39-yard line with that carry for that Parkview football team was number 9, Marcus Lee, and the freshman gets yardage out close to the 40. We'll mark it at the 39. It'll be 1st and 10, and that is an all-important first down for the Patriots.
Just as Salem had a special play to get out of the hole a little while ago, that's the play that we had alluded to earlier off of the spin series, where Murphy spins and hands off to the wingback rather than keeping it going up the middle, and they had the perfect time.
All right, there's running room. That's this time. Marcus Lee was corralled very, very quickly there. Number 82, Crowder, was there. Also number 31 defensively for the Salem High Spartans, a youngster who's played great football during the playoffs. Kirby Hamilton was there, and they will stop him for a yard gain. 2nd down and 9 as we approach the 2.5-minute mark.
And again, off of that spin series, because they ran it the last 2 plays, again, they can still throw off of it, so Salem has to be alert for play action.
There goes running room. There's a pitch. There's Chester. Chester to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, 5, touchdown. William Chester goes 60 yards for the Parkview Patriots.
You're talking about good offense. Now, that's good offense. They ran the spin series. Murphy kept it, took it down the line, and made it an option play. And we talked about if Chester ever gets to the outside, it's Katie bar the door. Well, he took it, and what a fine run.
He certainly did. And now Brandon DeVelli will try the extra point as Parkview takes the lead 9-3. This will be the point after for point number 10. DeVelli with the kick. It is up, and it is good. So Brandon DeVelli, after the William Chester touchdown, scores for the Parkview Patriots. And with a score here, Parkview 10, Salem 3. We're back with more second quarter action right after this.
There's a great way to say that you're Kroger store, starting with a card that...
Back here at Bridgeforth Stadium, Parkview taking the lead on the William Chester 60-yard touchdown run. Brandon DeVelli adds the extra point. DeVelli will now kick this one off, and Salem will get the opportunity. That one, like Nick Schmidt's bombs, goes into the end zone. Sheeler will touch it there, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Salem with a couple minutes left. And, of course, they would like to get something on the board, but also they do not want to turn this football over or make a mistake in the waning minutes here of this quarter number 2.
We just saw the value of the Parkview offense because they got in a situation where they needed the first down. They went to a play that they hadn't used with Marcus Lee coming through with the big gain. And then with time winding down on them, they come back and run the option off the same series. And anytime you put Chester to the outside with that ball, he's going to be awfully tough to catch.
There goes running room, and Waddell going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. He was hit there. Murphy was there. Also got some good help defensively by number 4 on that defense, T.J. Disney. And so Disney stops him, no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. Clock continuing to run down inside of 1:40 remaining in this first half with the Spartans on the short end of the scoreboard, 10-3.
And they're going to let it run all they can because at this point of the field, they'll be satisfied to run the clock down enough to get in there and regroup at halftime.
Christensen uses that clock. Now going to look. Can't find anybody. Going to run with it. And alertly going to run and get some good yardage and almost gets the first down. Christensen wisely, rather than try and throw that thing into traffic and maybe throw an interception, he runs with it and gets close to the first down.
Parkview should call a timeout right now and stop this clock because it's 3rd down. If Salem doesn't make the first down, they would have to kick it, but they're wasting valuable time here, and I think they've maybe only used 1 timeout.
That's right, and we're inside of a minute remaining in this first half, so Salem going to run with the football and get the first down. That was Manuel Lewis. Joey Wisen brings him down, but they will get the first down, and of course once they set the chains here, the clock will start running inside of 45 seconds. Dave Christensen with a great pass play that was able to keep this thing, a great run to give them the opportunity at the first down. Now he is going to pass. He looks to throw, and this one going to be thrown out of bounds, way overshooting the mark. But you know something, Don? That's something you got to give that young man a lot of credit. Maybe earlier in the year he throws that ball and it's an interception. Instead, you can see the maturity that he has had to come up. Instead of doing that, he runs for it, gives the Spartans the opportunity for the first down, and then on the next play, Manuel Lewis gets it.
Well, I like the young man. He's a competitor, and as I say, he's been under the gun a little bit, being thrown in there at the last moment. But he's overachieved in every way that I know of.
There goes again. Christensen this time's got running room. 35, 40, and boy, Joey Wiseman really racked him up. But he gets close to the 40-yard line, and it will bring on a third down and about 5 for the first down.
When you're quarterback for the Salem High Spartans, you'll watch just about as closely as the quarterback for the Washington Redskins. There's always someone looking over your shoulder, and we saw Andy Mullins progress from the point of where he was an average quarterback until he was a great quarterback and took him to 2 state championships. And David Christensen is the same kind of competitor, so he's got another year to go, and he's got invaluable experience this year, and I'm sure the expectations next year will be even greater for him.
They certainly will. We do want to remind you once again that the Red Devils from Russburg High School won the Division III Group AA state championship, beating Turner Ashby, a team from right around here in the Bridgewater area, topped them 9-6, and so a great job being done there by Coach Sharness and the Russburg Red Devils. All right, here we go with a third down. They need 5 for the first down, and we're down to 17 seconds remaining in this first half. There goes Christensen, gonna look, gonna throw, got a man, and couldn't quite team up with number 37, a youngster who's played well for this Spartan team this season, Sean Hefner. It's incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and now Nick Schmidt will come on to punt the football away.
And Nick Schmidt will probably get a big rush this time, because with only 12 seconds to go, Parkview's best opportunity is to try to block it. But again, you look back there, you got Tim Murphy, a real speedster back there, and they've had one great punt return already, so let's see.
There's the punt, and it will come down. It will come down. Whoa, what a punt. It is taken by Murphy. He slips at about the 15, and he's knocked down right there as he got to maybe the 16-yard line. Good coverage there by number 31 for the Spartans. That's Kirby Hamilton. And so the Spartans do a good job on that one, and it will be 3 seconds left, and I imagine they may try a long one or just fall on this one.
And talking about a punt, I hope the stat man has a yardage on that one, because that thing stayed up in the air forever and backed Murphy up, and he almost could have let it hit and maybe go out of bounds, which really didn't make a lot of difference for 3 seconds, but Nick boomed that one.
Boy, Schmidt has one of the best punts that we have seen him have all season long, and there is the final play of this first half as the Salem High Spartans trail in this one 10-3. And before we finish this first half, Mr. Caldwell, any idea on that punt?
Hey, that was a 48-yarder just like the other one before. Both of them around 48 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Great job. All right, we will be back with second half action here with a score. The Salem High Spartans trailing Parkview Sterling 10-3. We're back right after this commercial timeout.
Fan, and I think that's just great. And we have them from Lynchburg to the likes of Roanoke, Salem, Danville, Halifax County, just all around. And the only one out of that viewing area that we did have the opportunity to cover was Robert Jones, currently linebacker for the Miami Dolphins, who formerly played for the Dallas Cowboys. We had him against Russburg when they played in the state championship game, and he played for Nottoway. So 12 Western Virginia people in the NFL, and that's very meaningful to us.
It certainly is, and we have another half of football to go here. The score is 10-3. Salem scoring first on a Nick Schmidt field goal. That put it at 3-0. Then Brandon DeVelli added a field goal for Parkview to make it 3-3. And then William Chester was off to the races on a 60-yard touchdown run. DeVelli added the extra point, and that's how we stand at 10-3 as we are ready for this second half kickoff. The Spartans will have an all-important job to do defensively as they kick it off here, and Parkview will get the opportunity to have the football for the first time here in the second half. We shall see if Nick Schmidt continues his boom jobs into the end zone. This one will not make it. It comes and is taken on about the 15, and that's none other than number 9 on that one, Marcus Lee. That's that young freshman who's done such a great job. And what a hit by the Salem Spartans. And coming up with that hit for that ball club was, I saw a couple of white jerseys in there, and I'm not sure which one it was. It was number 83, Mark Shirley, I think. So it will be a 1st and 10 for the Patriots. The ball at the 15. So actually that one didn't go into the end zone, but it turns out even better because they got it on the 15.
I think Willis White is fairly well satisfied with his team, except possibly for about 3 plays. One, of course, is when Marcus Lee ran the reverse. I'm sure they've worked against that all week, but it was a spin reverse that they got Parkview a big 1st down. The other play was when Chester got outside. But again, the third thing that he was really upset about was the turnover, because you can't beat a team like this when you turn it over. So their goal is not to turn it over again and to sustain some drives and to keep them pinned inside and not let them outside.
And there's a fumble. Boy, that is exactly what they needed to have happen. They recover the fumble at the 21-yard line. And so just as of a sudden, the Salem High football team has it just shy of the 20-yard line.
Sometimes it's a disadvantage for you to come back out after half when you've been in that locker room and you go on that field and you handle that ball that first time in this weather. We understand it is brutal on the sidelines, actually brutal. That's how cold it is out there, and you see a little bit of it right there.
Here we go. It will be a running play across the 20 down to about the 19. Joey Wisen stops Roger Waddell for a short gain. It'll be 2nd down and 8 yards to go, and you know it was cold, because I got to tell you, when Carl York was up here, he was bundled up like an Eskimo, and I mean to tell you, it is cold down on that field. I was down there at halftime.
Well, as I mentioned, the weather's brutal, but Salem's first couple of blows that they delivered in the second half were brutal. So Coach White got their attention and said, guys, we've got to force some turnovers. We're not going to drive it 90 yards against this club many times.
There's Waddell. He's going to be stopped right there. Number 46, Dana Early, the nose guard, brought him down right there. And did want to tell you, Don, had a chance as I mingled through the crowd at halftime. Dennis Haley is here, of course, who was such a mainstay and now at UVA. And also Eddie Odie and his son, Matt, who was on this football team, and they moved to Pennsylvania, and says they're doing well, but certainly miss Salem.
Well, I understand that Dennis Haley did quite well as a redshirt over there. They're expecting great things from him. And not only is there Eddie, Odie, and his son, but there was also another Odie, Greg, that played over at Northside. So what an athletic family that is.
All right, there goes Christensen. Going to throw. Got his man, and it's caught. Boy, that has been one of his go-to guys, Sean Hefner, who has caught some big passes, caught a touchdown pass a week ago against Magna Vista. This time he catches it inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Spartans.
The Spartans really want a touchdown here, because as good as Nick Smith is, they've got 3 points. If he kicks 2 more field goals, that's only 9. So they really want to get a touchdown here and take the field goal out of the situation for right now, and look for him to dig down and just try to come up with something a little different.
Here we go. There goes the handoff. That's Roger Waddell. Waddell going to be strung out and brought down very quickly. Marcus Lee was there. And also number 17 for Parkview came on to do a nice job, Eric O'Saban, and it will be a gain of nothing, and it's 2nd and goal.
Everything Salem runs goes to the flow. Otherwise, if both backs are going to the right, they either have it handed to Manuel or hand it to the tailback. You're really seeing strong pursuit from the defense, so some type of misdirection play would probably work if they have it in their game plan.
2nd down, goal to go inside the 10-yard line for Salem High School. There goes the handoff, Waddell. Waddell nowhere, as once again that defense does a great job. Number 46, Dana Early, strung it out. Then he got some help from number 2 defensively for Parkview. That's T.J. Disney, and they stop him for a couple-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 7.
If Coach White is not thinking field goal, he's got 2 downs to make the 7 yards. However, if he's thinking field goal, he's only got this down, and if he's thinking that, we might see a passing situation here.
Third down, goal to go. The ball at the 7. Christensen at the controls. Gonna try and throw it. Now it breaks down, and he is met by number 2. That's Nassim Abedrabo. Abedrabo brings him down at the line of scrimmage, the 7, so it'll be 4th down, and Nick Schmidt will try his second field goal. This will be spotted from about the 15, so it is a 25-yard field goal for Nick Schmidt.
Dave, there was actually a receiver open then, but Christensen didn't see him and didn't have the time, and we got a blocked field goal attempt, which can be advanced.
And it is. Number 53 picked it up for Parkview, as that was Ryan Van Horn. The block was done by number 10, Justin Franz, and also number 9, Marcus Lee. So Lee, the freshman, has done a great job here. And as the two teams switch sides with Parkview going on the offense, the score remains Parkview 10, Salem 3. We're back right after this commercial timeout.
This situation because of his size.
Here we go. There goes running room, and Lewis got it. Manuel Lewis, when he gets a head of steam up, you can forget it at 280 pounds, and you're one of those smaller defensive backs like Lee at 160, O'Saban at 147, and Polk at 140. He gets first down at the 20.
Yeah, he ran a little wider than normal then because Big Derek Sauer was on that side, 6'1", 246, and really did a good job in that offensive line and getting that push that they needed. If you get Manuel before he gets up that head of steam, it's one thing, but a great play call, and again, a big first down for him.
All right, there is a timeout here on the field with a score. The Parkview Sterling Patriots 10, Salem High 3. We're back right after this commercial timeout. You can see the score. 3:28 remaining, quarter number 3. 10-3 is the score as the Salem High Spartans with a first down, and they want to talk things over. Of course, they have some youngsters that will be back next year. John Needhawk, of course, returns. Also Joe Anderson. Nathan Anderson, his brother, leaves, and of course Alan Crowder, the tight end, is back. So they have Nick Schmidt back along with Christensen. So there's quite a few back. There's running room, and driving close to the 15-yard line is Roger Waddell. Waddell sort of gives you that smaller look, and Mr. Lewis gives you the big look. Waddell, of course, number 24 for the Salem High School football team, is 5'10", 155 pounds.
And Roger Waddell lost his shoe that time, so we see Rico Jordan go in at that tailback slot now. And we know he's awfully capable of quick movement, so Rico could be a factor here as the other gentleman gets his shoe put back on.
So Waddell get his shoe fixed. 2nd and 5. There's Rico Jordan. And Jordan is going to be stopped, but he falls and battles his way forward for about 3 or 4 yards. The middle of that defense was there. Big number 70, Brad Sisson, along with Andre Zendre, were able to stop him, but not before he gets down close to the 11-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short for the Spartans.
I'd like to see Manuel pick up good yardage this time, because if they get this first down, I would rather them be working from around the 5-yard line than maybe the 9 or 10. So let's see if they can get the first down by some good yardage.
Here we go. There is the handoff. Rico Jordan, and Jordan is stopped in his tracks. He might have gotten forward motion close to the 10, but it is still shy of the first down, and it brings up another 4th down, 4th and about a half yard to go, and that is decision time for Coach Willis Waite and his staff.
You run your best ball carrier behind your best blockers, and we'll see whether they flip-flop those linemen or what happens, but expect Manuel to come back with the same play that they were effective on a minute ago, possibly to the weak side, which is the left side.
4th down. Here we go. There goes running room. Lewis, he got the first down. Manuel Lewis went off that right side and battles his way to the 6. He gains 4 yards, and that is a Spartan first down.
And the good news is the first down is on the 6. They went to the strong side. Sometimes the reason they go back to the weak side is that some teams will overshift to the strong side, putting an extra lineman over there. But they knew exactly where to go. Manuel performed well. They need to pick up at least about 3 yards here on this first down.
1st and goal at the 6. There goes the handoff. That's Lewis. Lewis drives to about the 4. Middle of that defense, Dana Early, Brian Fong there to bring him down, but not before he gains a couple. It's second down and goal at the 4. We are down to the minute mark remaining in this third quarter.
3 downs to make 4 yards with a 280-pound fullback. That makes you feel pretty good. But on the other hand, sometimes that speedster will find that crease and take it all the way in there. So Waddell is back in there, so they've got the total package in.
They do indeed, as we're down to 45 and counting left. Quarter number 3. Christensen at the controls. Hands up. There's Lewis. Lewis drives close to the 2-yard line, and he was met in there. Number 46, Dana Early, was the first one to meet him, but not before they drive it down to the 2. It'll be third down and goal at the 2, and we are down to 30 seconds and counting left in quarter number 3.
I doubt, well, they may have to get this play off because of the clock situation, but again, they're trying to spread things out a little bit for his wide receivers, but what they're trying to do is create more of a crease for Emmanuel Lewis.
Here we go. Christensen going to hand it off. They're driving. Touchdown, Manuel Lewis. So Manuel Lewis drives it in from 2 yards out. And how do you like that? It is a 10-9 game, and a Nick Schmidt extra point can tie this one up.
Let's give that offensive line a lot of credit because they really got the push. They took the wide receivers, got those other people out of the field, and said, okay, we're coming at you with that big guy. Y'all stop him if you can, and they couldn't.
All right, with the extra point is Schmidt. Here's the kick. It is up, and it is perfect. So we are even here. Salem High School 10 and the Parkview Sterling Patriots 10. We're back with the fourth quarter right after we take this commercial timeout.
The year was 1935, and they played in canvas and leather helmets with no face masks or shin guards. Kroger was there. Through the years, the game changed, and Kroger changed. A delicatessen, a pharmacy, a bakery. This year's champion? Who knows? That game will have to be played. But you can be sure Kroger will be there. Let's go Kroger.
When you are thinking of buying or selling a home, you need trust and confidence in your real estate agent. J.C. Taylor of Century 21 Young Realty is that type of individual. J.C. has years of experience in the real estate business and better than $2 million a year in sales. J.C. is committed to his clients and will work to make sure the process of buying or selling your home goes smoothly. Give J.C. a call at 562-2631 or 387-0466 and let his professionalism work for you. At Computer Sales and Service, we offer professional maintenance and repair on virtually all personal computer systems and printers. Computer Sales and Service is also your local representative for Acer, Hewlett-Packard, IBM, Oki Data, and Compaq, to name just a few. So if your present computer system needs service, or you're just looking locally for the best deals from the biggest names in personal computers and printers, come by or call us today. That's Computer Sales and Service, 5720 Williamson Road, Suite 102. We're ready to serve you. Back here at Bridgeforth Stadium, we're ready to start the fourth quarter. We're all even at 10 apiece, and the Parkview Sterling Patriots will have a second down, and they'll need about 4 for the first down as we start this fourth quarter. But what a great job done by the Spartans, capped off by Big Manuel Lewis's touchdown and the extra point by Nick Schmidt to even things up at 10 apiece. And now Parkview will try and answer that as we're even at 10-10. All right, Jerry.
All right, you talk about ball control. When Salem got this ball on the 48-yard line, they kept it 5 minutes and 37 seconds. They ran 12 plays to tie this ball game up, and that's nice ball control.
That it is, and boy, that is exactly what you want to do, because now it'll be settled here in this fourth quarter, 10-10. And remember, both teams have great field goal kickers, Brandon DeVelli and Nick Schmidt. Murphy, who has been at the controls all game long, goes right back to Chester. Chester gains yardage out across the 30. He was met there very quickly. Kirby Hamilton, Mark Shirley, and also Crowder all stopped him.
2 points to make, Dave. Let's give the Salem kickoff team a lot of credit. Those guys haven't had to cover many kickoffs this year. This is the only 2 times that we've seen them when the ball hasn't gone in the end zone. Each time they've been very effective in getting down and getting to that ball carrier quickly. too, look at the adjustments Coach White has made at halftime. All of a sudden, Parkview's running attack doesn't seem to be anywhere near, even though they got a good game going here.
How do you like that? You speak a little too soon, and Tim Murphy makes us pay for it as Murphy drives all the way down to the 42-yard line, and just there again on a big third down, the Patriots come up with a first down.
I'm going to keep my big mouth shut because it seems like I jinxed them, but up to that time, it seemed like they'd been 1 and 2 yarding it, and all of a sudden, they pop one loose.
Yeah, Coach, you're exactly right. That was their first down of this half.
Wow. How do you like that? And we're already a minute into the fourth quarter. So with 11 minutes and counting left in this game, it is 1st and 10 at the 42. Been a great game as last year's was. There's running room and nothing doing. Whoa. Spencer Chrisley, I mean to tell you, he lassoed and corralled, had some help from Alan Crowder, and boy, what a job they did as they stuck him for a short gain of a couple.
And they made him feel it, too, because that's the kind of play which especially you like at the goal line when they go up in there and then you get your shoulder on them and you put them back where they came from and just going back and hitting that back then and knocking him to the ground. Ooh, on that cold ground. Oh.
That is something else. Here we go. There goes running room. That's the quarterback as he drives, Murphy does, out over the 45 down to about the 47. This will be third down and about 6 for the first down at their own 47.
And this is a time that you look for the spin play with the reverse off of it because this is the wide side of the field. They've been effective with the spin play the last few times, and this particular play with the spin or either with the option off of it is what Parkview scored off of in the first half.
Here we go. Boy, the crowd into it here. Murphy, Hamilton got him, but they throw the pass, and it is incomplete. It was hit to number 40 for that Parkview football team, and that was none other than Joey Wisen, but it is incomplete. So now the punting team with Dana Early doing the job for Parkview will have to punt the football away.
Would it be safe to say that this game is everything that we anticipated and more?
Indeed it was. And there's a penalty that's going to go against the Patriots. And you can see Salem now feeling good, feeling confident. They want the football back. This will march it, too, all the way back into the 31-yard line. So just like that, it's fourth down, and they're going to have to punt the football away.
Let me tell you what I think that penalty is for. It's unsportsmanlike, but I would say that there's probably some taunting going on the field. And again, that's the thing that you don't want on the field, and a penalty like that can really hurt you in a key situation.
Early gets this one off. It's taken there, and a good move by Hefner. 50, 45, 40-yard line. Hefner might have gotten even more, but number 4 came up, T.J. Disney, and stopped him, but not before they get great return for Sean Hefner, and just like that, the Spartans are in business at the 40.
That penalty was such a key factor, and you try to work with your kids all year, and you teach them to have a proper discipline, play with poise. Somebody says something to you, turn around and walk away. But apparently something was said after that play, and the officials are going to call it because they're going to control the game, and we haven't had any major penalties hardly up to that point, but that was a key penalty.
Here we go. First down at the 40. There goes the handoff. Waddell nowhere to go. Boy, great move by Joey Wisen to just stand him up tall and bring him down. They will lose yardage all the way back to the 41. And so it'll be second, and we'll call it 12 for the first down. The ball at their own 41.
Well, the bread and butter play as far as the passing game has been the play where Christensen rolls out, sends 2 receivers to the wide side, and hits Hefner on a sideline route, but we don't have 2 receivers to this side to do that, so let's look for the run maybe.
Clock running, inside of 9 minutes left. Here goes Waddell. Waddell broke 1 tackle, bounced off of it, and drove down inside the 40 to about the 38. He was stopped there by number 70 defensively for this Parkview football team, and that is none other than Andrew Zundrad. Here we go. Third down, and we'll call it 8 for the first down at the 39.
And again, let's remember, we haven't heard much from Jeremy Sheila.
That's right. Sheeler and Hefner, those are the go-to guys, it seems, on this football team. There goes Christensen. Christensen's got time. Gonna look, gonna throw, got a man out there and underthrew it. Lee and Sheeler were battling, and they've had a lot of those battles here today, but it falls incomplete, and now Nick Schmidt will come in to punt this, and of course what they'd like is a pooch job and try and get this thing out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
When you got a leg like Nick Smith, it's hard to pooch it. The best way for him to pooch it is kick it extremely high and hope for the good bounce and maybe hit it about the 10-yard line and bounce.
There's the kick, and it's going to bounce, it's going to bounce, it's going to bounce. Oh, and couldn't quite get to it. That was a great job there, and of course, the Swami comes up with it. Kirby Hamilton almost was able to get to it, but it slithered into the end zone. It is a touchback, and now it's 1st and 10 for Parkview at their own 20-yard line.
And now you've seen a Nick Smith pooch punt. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
It certainly is, and you did it well. Boy. So 1st and 10, 20-yard line, Parkview Sterling. We have had a dandy here, very much like a year ago when the Spartans hung on in a 21-20 victory. We're down to 9 minutes remaining in this football game.
These ball carriers better protect this football for Parkview because Salem would love a turnover.
And there's Murphy, and it is. My gracious, and it's picked up. Touchdown, Crowder. My goodness gracious, he called it, and they come up with it. And I think one of those to come up and hit him, number 40 was in there for Salem, David Epperly. They had a couple other youngsters, and just like that, he hits him, the ball pops loose, and none other than Alan Crowder, who has been such a mainstay for this Spartan team, picks it up, and just like that, the Spartans are in business.
I guess it makes up for opening my big mouth a minute ago. That turnover was something special.
It was. Boy, oh boy. You said they had stopped the running game. Murphy went off to the races and got a big first down, but this time the turnover comes up big. Here's Schmidt. Kick is up. It is good. So the Spartans of Salem have taken the lead here with 9 minutes remaining. The score, Salem High School 17, Parkview Sterling 10. We're back right after this commercial timeout. Stadium on the campus of James Madison University. We got a dandy going, and Salem has regained the lead thanks to a fumble forced by the Salem Spartan defense, picked up by Crowder. He goes in. Schmidt adds the extra point at 17-10, and now Schmidt will boom this one away. It will be taken at about the 15 by 10 by Chester. He's to the 20. Look out. He's got great speed, 30, 40, and he carries it out to the 42-yard line, and number 37, Hefner, stops him. But a great return by William Chester, and now with less than 8 minutes remaining, the ball is at the 42-yard line.
Oh, I tell you, Dave, the clock is really a factor now because Salem knows if they can stop them on a 3 and out and they can get the ball and just run some time off of that clock, that they're in pretty good position. But the thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to give up any kind of big play here. And we know that they have two guys who are capable of making the big play, Murphy and Chester. The big play that they made in the first half came off of the spin series, and then when Murphy went down the line and optioned off of it. They'll remember back to that, but I know Coach White and his staff, and I'm sure have paid special attention to that at halftime.
And boy, that's great to see Sean Hefner get up because he's played a great game. He is walking off his number 37 for the Salem High Spartans. Hefner, a 6'2½", 152-pound junior, so he's back next year for Coach Willis White and the Spartans. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Ball at their own 41-yard line, inside of 8 minutes remaining in this one. There goes running room, and he trips and falls. Murphy gets back to the line of scrimmage. 31, Kirby Hamilton, who has been playing great defense for this Salem football team. As the season has progressed, he has played more and more, and now he is just a key factor for the Salem defense.
What he's doing is he's getting through so fast that he's disrupting the Parkview offense a little bit. He had the quarterback by the leg before he moved.
There we go as they stop him at the gain of maybe a half yard. Now it is 3rd down and 11 with the football at the 41 yard line. So this is a very, very big play as we're down to 7 minutes and counting in this one for Parkview. And, of course, Parkview not known as a passing offense.
Look for that spin option.
And there it is. There is Murphy. He got the drives, and he didn't get the first down, I don't think, because they'll mark it at midfield. He had to get to the 49, so now it is 4th down.
It's 4th down in quarterback sneak time because he's in quarterback sneak range. With his quickness, the only thing he's going to do is look for the seam. And again, Salem saw him do it in the first half and get the first down. They're going to be bunched in there for that sneak. And you're talking about a big defensive play. It's coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed it is. And with it being such an important one for both teams, they're going to call a timeout, and we will too. With a score here, the Salem High Spartans 17, the Parkview Sterling Patriots 10. We're back right after this all-important commercial timeout. You can see Willis White and the Salem coaching staff talking to the defense, and here we go. You talk about big plays. This is it. 4th down. They need a yard. They've got to get it into Spartan territory at the Salem 49. So 5 minutes, 25 seconds remain. Here we go. There it is, and he drives. Murphy, I don't know. It depends on the spot. Great penetration in there. Looks like big number 64 was one of the first to meet him. That's Nathan Anderson. And they're going to have to bring this one in. And boy, oh boy, if he made it, it wasn't by much. But I'll tell you, that spot, I don't think he got it.
He didn't get it, Dave. He didn't get enough push. And Salem was ready for it. They came right to the left side just like the last time. And those big Nathan Anderson, 6'3", 260, was right there. And I'm telling you, they did not get it.
Oh, my gracious. Now Salem has the football. 5 minutes remain, and they're at midfield. And, of course, if they can get in to Nick Schmidt field goal range, they could add to this one.
They're not worried so much about field goal range. They're worried about making first downs and running this clock out. And then if they get in field goal range, that'll be great. But, you know, we're looking at a team that has a chance for a three-peat. 3 years in a row state champion and 4 out of the last 5 years. How about them apples?
I got to tell you, Florida State has nothing on this football team. Let me clue you. This has been incredible. All right, here goes Manuel Lewis, and look at that. Look at Lewis. 45-44, 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4. And now what Christensen and company will do, use that clock, get first down yardage if they can, and keep it moving.
You know, only 3 teams in the history of the state, Hampton, Jefferson Senior, Roanoke, and Hopewell, have won 3 years in a row as far as state championships are concerned. So they're really, these Spartans are right on the verge of joining history.
They certainly are. Here goes Salem. 2nd down. We'll call it 5. There goes running room, and bowls his way down to about the 42-yard line as gaining yardage was big Manuel Lewis. And Lewis gets to the 42. It's 3rd down and will be about 2 for the first down.
Do you think it'll be 3rd and Manuel?
Well, I tell you what, Manuel has been money in the bank. He has been a key factor in the Salem Spartan victories during the playoffs, and you got to figure he's going to come up big here. 3rd down, short yardage. There it goes, and look at Lewis. My gracious, first down all the way down to the 37. Hanging on was number 7, Tim Murphy, but Murphy is 152. Manuel is 280. That is somewhat of a mismatch.
I tell you, I'm openly rooting for these Spartans. Certainly, being from our area, we're openly rooting for them, and especially in the situation, as far as I'm concerned, is the fact that Jefferson, of course, is from Roanoke. I used to live in Hopewell. I used to live in Roanoke. Now I live in Salem. So, boy, I'm telling you, I'm really rooting for them.
Yeah, well, you've been a little bit of everywhere. There goes the handoff, and there was I think a loose ball for a minute, but Lewis hung on to it. And you know something else, Don? This will mark, if Salem holds on, the 2nd year in a row that both AA teams come from our area.
Oh, what pride. I tell you, the thing about getting back to that play, Dave, we know about the pride that's in Salem, but getting back to that play is Manuel did temporarily lose that ball temporarily, but he's got those great hands for playing basketball, and he reached out there and snared it right back.
He did indeed. They have driven it down to the 34. The clock is running at about 4 minutes remaining. There goes, guess who? Manuel Lewis, too close to the 30-yard line. At middle of the defense, Brian Fong and Early were there to stop him. But it will be 3rd down and about 3. The clock continuing to run inside of 3:55 remaining.
The big offensive line is getting some push. That defense has got to be tired. They're not as big as Salem. You got 2 downs to make. It looks more, Dave, like 4 yards. So you got to average 2 downs, 2 yards a down if you choose to go that route. Coach White having 1 field goal blocked, he may be skeptical about a field goal since it would be a long one.
All right, there's the handoff. Manuel, and I think that last thrust not quite there. He probably will be similar to that short yardage situation just a moment ago that Murphy was unable to meet. The ball is at the 28. He needs to get to about the 27, so it'll be 4th and about a yard.
And it looks like the field goal team is coming on the game. What this would do, more than likely, if Nick Smith can connect, it would ice the game because but again, let's remember one thing. We're looking at a 45-yard field goal. He kicked a 48-yarder against Northside.
All right, Christensen, here's the snap. The kick is up, and it is no good. Wow, that looked like it was going to make it, but similar to last year where we thought maybe Brandon DeVelli was going to hit one in the last few seconds, this one goes just a little wide, and so it will remain at 17-10.
Another factor could be, remember, these goalposts aren't as wide as a normal high school goalpost because they have the college standards. Don't know whether it made a difference or not because the kick was plenty long, but it just didn't get through the post. So one last gasp of breath for Parkview Sterling to go 80 yards to tie this football game.
I wonder if they fixed that, though, this year. I know they still got, looks like, has the Dukes on it, so you wonder because that was something of a complaint a year ago when Brandon DeVelli missed his near the end. There's William Chester, and Chester is stopped as he drives to the 24. The problem you have here if you're Parkview Sterling is the clock. You're down to 2:45, and that defense doing a great job, Kirby Hamilton and Mark Shirley.
And the problem that you have is that you're going to have Nick Smith back in that safety position for Salem. He's going to make sure he's sure to tackle everything. You got Spencer Chrisley coming after him in there. We've got Hamilton going after him. So this Salem defense is going to rush him hard.
There it is. There's Murphy. Can't find. Now he's got a man out there, and it's intercepted by Spencer Chrisley at the 45, 40, 35. Spencer Chrisley to the 33, and number 13 had to come up defensively on that offensive side of the football for Parkview Sterling. That is none other than Zach Polk, and he stops him, but not before they get a 1st and 10 at the 34, and now with just a tad over 2 minutes, look out.
How many times have we said it? When you force a team to do what they don't do best, and that's throw the football, they were forced into a throwing situation. We talked about Spencer Chrisley, all the great plays he's made, but I knew they weren't going to get anything thrown deep. They may have got something thrown short. But the thing is, Don Murdoch was always one of my heroes because of that song he used to sing, and it's almost time to sing that song.
Yeah, it is. The party's over, but it isn't over yet. I'm going to flat out tell you that. Parkview is a good football team. They battled to the end a year ago. You know they will go down to the wire again this time. That time, Manuel, however, gets some yardage to about the 30, and now it appears that they're going to call a timeout.
They have to call a timeout, and I said almost on that song. I would never sing until the proper time, but if the proper time gets here, I'd like the pleasure of singing that today.
Okay, well, we'll love to say it. That's one way to keep folks around here. All right, with a timeout here on the field, the score, 17 for the Salem Spartans, 10 for Parkview Sterling. We're back with a finale right after this. We are back here, down to 2 minutes remaining. 2nd down and about 7 for the 1st down for this Salem High School football team. The Spartans trying a three-peat, 4 out of 5, and they have 2 minutes to hang on here to try and do just that. Here we go. There is the handoff. Going to go to Rico Jordan. Look at Jordan, and I think he got close to 1st down yardage. Might not have made it, but it will be 3rd and short. Jordan with that final push got inside the 25, and now they will call another timeout. We'll keep it right here as we're down to 1:50.
Salem has a long yard to go for the first down. If they are successful, and I'm sure Emmanuel Lewis will run the football, if they're successful with the lack of timeouts on Parkview's part, Salem will be able to run the clock out.
That's right, because what is that, the final timeout for Parkview?
I believe they have one more, Dave.
Okay, well, it will be the Spartan faithful here who support their team, and as I say, not many would have thought that they could have done it. And you see all these fans out there who can't believe that they're at it again.
You think there was a convoy going down 95 in Florida the other day delivering those votes. There was a convoy coming up 81 today, and I'm telling you, the flags were flying, the jackets are here, the pride is here, and, you know, again, they're one long yard away from the state championship, but they got 2 downs to get that long yard or either a possible field goal.
And I got to tell you, you like your chances with Manuel Lewis, and you can see Christensen talking to his offensive lineman, saying, let's get this thing right. Chrisley is in there now also. In fact, Chrisley is in there with Jordan, not Manuel Lewis. And Chrisley wanted it and got it. I think Spencer Chrisley went up to Christensen and said, hey, give it to me. I'll get you the first down. I want this thing.
Well, don't you remember last year he played such a major role in this football game offensively as well as defensively. And if I'm correct, that will be Parkview's last time out. And with the time in the huddle and all that's going, things look really, 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 really good for the Spartans.
Certainly do. And let's take our final timeout here. And we'll come back for the final minute or so of this game and wrap it up. The score, Salem High School 17, Parkview Sterling 10. We're back right after this. Down. 10 yards to go. The ball at the 21. Now remember, Parkview just spent their last timeout. Manuel Lewis is back in there after Spencer Chrisley got the all-important first down. It's going to go to Manuel. He's just going to hold on to the football and fall forward for a half yard. It'll be second down and long, but that doesn't phase at all this Spartan football team because the clock is on their side, and they will use all of it here over the next few plays.
They can even run down and take a 5-yard penalty for too much time if they need to, but the thing about it is Manuel will cover that ball up with both hands. If he's carrying it or whoever's carrying it, they will protect it because Parkview will be going for the football.
What Christensen is doing is using as much of that clock as he can before it is snapped. There goes Manuel Lewis. Look at Lewis, and he got a big yardage gainer right there inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. And number 9, Marcus Lee, was there to stop him, but not before he gets good yardage. It's 3rd and short, and we're inside of 45 seconds remaining.
Manuel, you have been one of the big differences in this football game, young man. We wish you continued success as you go to the hardwood, but you have been a factor today.
No question. What a great game he has had. There it goes. Lewis going to gain yardage. Might not have gotten the first down, but it really doesn't matter because it is 4th down. The clock is down to 25 seconds, and that will be it for the Salem Spartans and another state championship.
Turn out the lights, the party's over.
Oh, my. I tell you, I never thought I could find somebody who could sing it worse than Don Meredith. But this guy, yeah, it is. And what can you say? There it is. There's the clock running down. 2, 1. That's it. The Salem High Spartans are the state champions for the 3rd year in a row. What an incomparable situation here. And 4 out of 5. You just can't say enough. The fans are down there. And, Don, it was a phenomenal game. The Spartans took the lead 3-0. Parkview came back 3-3. Parkview took a 10-3 lead. And then the Spartans did what they had to do. They scored 2 touchdowns and the extra points by Nick Schmidt for the final total of 17-10.
Remember when I told you that this team would not quit, and it didn't look real good for them when they got forced a turnover early, didn't score, had a field goal blocked. That's 2 things that could have really got the kids down on themselves, but it just made this group fight harder. And with the fine coaching that they get each and every year, they put it all together and forced a turnover and turned it into a touchdown. And, you know, being behind like they were and coming back again, it's just a real tribute to everybody involved. And, you know, we talked about how cold it is, or it was out there. It's not very cold right now because there's a lot of warmth on that field as these parents and spectators embrace this wonderful group of kids.
And one final comment from the stat man.
Dave, 14 weeks ago, we had Salem twice, and I don't think any of us thought that we would be here today, but you got to give Salem and say congratulations to them. They turned things around in the middle of the year, and they peaked at the right time, and they won, like you said, for the third straight year, so congratulations to them.
All right, and I cannot get away without saying a special thank you to, of course, Kroger Food and Drug for this game today, but also to our crew, our chief engineer, Dale Cook, Eric Newman, our director, our camera people throughout the season, folks like Todd Richardson, John Eccles, Dave Maxwell, Lacey Stennett, Arthur Dean and company. Without their help and support, this would not be possible, and I cannot say enough about them in each and every week when we've done these high school games.
And a special thanks to all those who make comments about our broadcast and the coverage, and it's always nice to hear that people enjoy it, and we do appreciate it.
All right, that's it. The final score, you see it there. Salem 17, Parkview Sterling 10. That's it for year 2000 of high school football. I'm Dave Ross for Don Lee and the stat man, Jerry Caldwell.
Well, each year, the Friday Football Extra staff members put their heads together and name a team of the year. That team takes home a nice plaque and a $1,000 check. But this year, we decided to split the money and the award to honor both Rustburg and Salem. We begin our Teams of the Year segment with the Salem Spartans, a group that won its third straight state championship despite being 3-3 at the midpoint of the season.
They say success breeds success, which is true, but success also breeds apathy. And this group was not a really hard-working group during the off-season. They came in expecting good things to happen to them. And all at once, good things weren't happening anymore. And then you find out what type of person you really are. I told them, there's nothing I can do for you until you change how you think about things. If you want to succeed, we can become a success. I mean, we get paid to be there, and we know how to do things, but they're the ones that determine how good we're going to be.
How does this one rank? It came out of nowhere, so to speak, in a lot of ways, but how does it fit in with the others?
Well, it really didn't surprise me. I mean, I might not be the brightest guy in the world, but I looked at the group early in the year, and we weren't as good in a lot of spots as we have been, but we were a lot better than we were a year ago in a lot of spots. I mean, our skill people were down a level, but our linemen were up 2 or 3 levels. And I said, heck, we've got enough to make a run at it. You know, if everybody will just start going in the same direction, we'll make a run. So I fully intended to make a run. Now, when it got 3-3 and 4-4, I've got to admit, my hopes were faltering a little bit. But I thought early in the year that 5-5 would get us in the playoffs.
It's going to be a sad day when you quit doing this. Are you giving any more thought to it or not?
Well, you know, I'm not getting any younger. My days are numbered. I don't know exactly when, but I've enjoyed it. But there comes a time, no matter what you do, that you're going to have to walk away. I just want to make sure I don't walk away too soon, and I also want to make sure I don't walk away too late.
Well, as we all know, Willis couldn't buy a state title in his early days at Salem, but now he has 4 in the last 5 years.